Hello again, more on psychic protection. These are tools that you may need to use. Now, there are days that you're going to feel very sensitized, and as I said, this is a time that you work on your sensitivity. There is a way to strengthen yourself, and for me, it is spiritually evolving. You know, as we know, we are all psychic. We are spirit. We come from spirit. We will go back to spirit. If anything, I often think we need to actually develop those skills rather than always trying to understand how to be the medium, how to be the healer. I think at first we need to work on ourselves, and I think that's important. And that was my personal journey. I worked on myself so I could handle all these external energies. But there are times, and even times for me, I've had to use certain things. Now, I've got a list, so if I look down at the paper, please excuse me. Self, start with self, get your house in order, learn to work with yourself, learn not to be offended by that world out there. You're always going to be confronted with that world. There is a lot of negativity out there, and that stems from the human being and of course external influences, be it where they come from. We can use things like cloaks. We can put a cloak of protection around us, but make sure that cloak is light and bright. A gold cloak, a strong cloak, something that empowers you, that you feel protected by it, that people can't see you. Make yourself invisible. Call your angels, call your guides, stand with the masters. You know, as I've said, the great one is whatever your master you choose. May you stand in front of me, behind me, to the right of me, the left of me, above me, below me. Very powerful. I call the cherubims, seraphims and orphanims. They stand at the throne of God. I call their energy. If I really feel a bit, ooh, I'm having to deal with something pretty heavy here, I will call them and empower them. Everything is belief. You can't half-heartedly do these things. Don't get to the point that you feel yourself, you have to over protect yourself, because, you know, I remember having this conversation with a friend recently that everything he did, he put protection up, whether he sat in development circle, workshop, around everybody. And I said to him, you know, put it on when you need it. You don't have to put it up every second of the day, because he couldn't actually develop in the spiritual group. And I said, well, I'm not surprised. You put protection up, your guides can't get through because he put Fort Knox up. So, going through the list, angels, symbols. You can work with symbols if you know of symbols that empower you, that you believe in, resonate with you. Work with symbols, put your symbols in front of you. You can create shields. You can put symbols on the shields, but when you put the shields around you, right, left, don't forget to put them in front of you, behind you and above you and below you. Colours work very well. Powerful colours, you know, gold is a very spiritual, powerful colour. Research your colours. Again, what empowers you to feel protected. Some people will put themselves in a bubble of light to deflect. Mirrors are very good. You know, if you know someone's sending you thoughts, which can happen, put up your mirrors. When you put mirrors up, you are deflecting. You don't want to, because someone's sending you bad thoughts, that you want to send it back, because then you enter into karma and you're equally on the same flows then. So mirrors work very well. A good thing as well, at the end of the day, showers. Clean your body, clean your aura. If you stand in a shower and just let that shower rinse over you, visualise, for the people that can visualise, that all that old energy that you may have picked up with during the day or infused with, washes down the plug hole, and watch it go down. See it going down and away from you. That's very important. Wake up in the morning if you're feeling a bit unstable, or you've had something go on recently that makes you feel a bit vulnerable, just again put a bubble of white light around you. Sometimes if I'm feeling a bit wobbly, I will get into the car and I will say, do you know what, put light around the car, because if I'm not firing, I don't want to start attracting energies that I could find myself having an accident. And I don't particularly want people driving and sending me bad signals because I'm not, you know, aware of what's going on due to whatever's going on in my life. Obviously you're going to get influenced by many things out there, as I've said, so just find something that works for you. There are other ways out there, you know, do research it. Again, if I can help you, I will do. Sometimes if you're going through something very bad, then that's the time that you do put Fort Knox up. I've actually done it around my house before now, when I had an ex-partner that kept ringing me and I wasn't sure if he was going to knock on the door and start screaming and shouting at me, I would actually put, I suppose, major lead balls all around my house, and I would lay in bed and I would put a lead ball underneath, up at the sides and across the top, and inside I'd fill the whole place up with gold that it pushed out, literally. So that attraction wasn't drawn to me, and it really worked. He never did ring. He never came nearby. If I forgot to do it, it happened. So it showed me when I needed this protection, I would. I remember being on a train once and I sat opposite this woman and I was just reading a book and I flicked up my eyes and she had like this Cleopatra hairstyle, but she had, her earrings were the horned one, and I thought, okay, high priestess, and I just did not like her energy. She was engaged in something quite dark and satanic. So I thought, do you know what, I'm not even going to look at you, and that's important. If you feel out there are things that you feel uncomfortable and you don't know why, use your intuition. Now with this particular one, I just put a lead ball up in front of me. I thought, you can't see me, and I just put it in front of me. Sometimes wings are very good, the angel wings around you, but don't link in. Again, you know, you can put up the psychic protection, but if you're linking through your mind to things that are not savoury, things that make you feel uncomfortable, things that change your mindset, and at the same time, you know, obviously you're not flowing, that is not really going to work again. You know, you have to do it with vigilance. You really have to think these things through, because, you know, protection works if you understand what you're protecting yourself against. But as I said, if you're not in a good place to try to put protection up, you've got to get to a place where, I suppose, it means it's a command. Me, I usually do commands. I command spiritually, I trust you, I have faith in you, I want that protection. As I said, with that lady, the wall went up. So, you know, I think I've covered most things here. There's probably other things that you can work with, but don't get fearful. You know, don't spend all your life thinking the minute you wake up, you've got this mass protection around you. Like attracts like. But as I said, you're always going to have those influences out there. It depends how you feel that day. Just recognise your flows, understand the changes, understand the environment you're going in. I know when I go into hospitals, you know, I tend to put my protection up there because I know I'm such a giver, and I know there's a lot of ill people in these places. They instinctively, through their auras, draw on energy, good energy, to help them make them feel well. So the people that are vibrant and healers and stand in the light, that will be recognised by the auras of other people instinctively and can actually draw. I know when I go into hospitals, without doing that, I can feel a bit, oh, we've all been there. So places where you feel you could be drawn on. Prisons, excellent place for putting up protection. There's a lot of negativity in there. You know, even sometimes if you're going to do spiritual development, you know, if you're going to go to a place and you're unsure about other sitters, because you can't always assume everybody in a spiritual group is going to be of the highest thinking. They could be there for the wrong reasons. They may be there and they're needy. So you have to look and see how you feel. If you feel uncomfortable or not sure of someone, just gently put up your lights. Don't connect that person. But then you have to consider, is that the circle for you? Because a circle for spiritual development should be in harmony. You should be happy with your circle leader as well. Places of worship, you know, I've been to places where they're not actually very spiritual. I know of a young lady that went to one of these places where they're very much about spirit and entities and you've got the devil with you, She walked in there and passed out. And that said to me, she was very spiritual, this young girl, seeking spirituality. And the energies were so overwhelming because the mindset was everybody had a spirit with them, you know, unless you're doing what I tell you. So she found herself in that. So I had to explain to her on that one. Psychiatric places, you know, people mentally not well, you don't know what level that mental illness works from. Is it from a chemical imbalance right through to some spiritual activity around them? If you're not aware of that environment and you walk into it and you're sensitised to it, you could pick up those flows. A friend of mine actually lives in a place that was a mental institute. They've turned into flats, and I thought, my God, I would never live there, because I know, and as many people know, the psychiatric places back in the day, a lot of people died, there's a lot of mayhem and confusion, and obviously there was probably negative energies drawn into that in the form of spirits. So that would hold energy. So therefore, when I went there, I actually said to myself, I will put protection up today, because as much as I think I'm clever, I will not be foolhardy about all of this stuff. So again, any questions? Please ask me.